did the Cardinals just get a bit of a hand, a little bit of help in the NFC West, and it's not even on our team? Looks like it. Welcome back to Cardinals Daily. I'm Eddie Law. Hit that sub, hit that bell, send that like, and let's get right to it, ladies and gentlemen. The San Francisco 49ers are in a little bit of trouble here. They're just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit, all right? Look, you never root for anyone to get hurt, injured, whatever. But when they do, and it helps you out, you know? The San Fran Niners announced that they play one of the best tight ends in football. All-pro George Kittle on IR, effectively taking him out for the next 4 games. Kittle was dealt with a hamstring injury he suffered against the Seattle Seahawks in Week 1. Kittle is a big part of what the Niners do. From blocking to being the safety valve for quarterback Brock Purdy. Speaking of Purdy, he's hurt too. He may not even play Week 2 due to a left shoulder injury and apparently suffered injuries to his little toesies as well. Kind of need all that to play football, of course. But if we remember this, that Super Bowl Purdy played with one arm. It didn't go well, but he toughed it out as best he could. That is a tough kid for sure. So no disrespect goes over to him at all. But all respect to those guys. But those are major blows going into their Week 2 trip against New Orleans. Now, I say major because it's early in the season and they're still working on getting that chemistry, that synergy together and all that. But it's sort of a blessing that they're facing the Saints, right? And not a playoff-bound team. How does this help the Cardinals? Well, next 4 opponents for the Niners are the Saints. They should still win. Like if the Saints don't improve much, which I don't believe they will, they should still win, right? If they have Brock Purdy. Not 100% sure who their backup is, but if Brock Purdy is a starter, their backup can't be that great. So, then we play them in Week 3, which is which will win in the division effectively counts for 2, and then the Jags and the Rams. So the Niners should beat the Saints and do well against the Jags. I don't know if they'll win or not, but they should do well against them. But if it lose to us and the Rams, man, it's just bad for San Fran in the NFC West. That could mean that Arizona Cardinals going to Seattle into the Seattle game, leading the division. So, and any lead you get is a good one. It really is. Like if any lead you can get in any division is a good one because things happen, injuries happen, flukes, crappy game plans, crappy calls, Petzing, Drew Petzing. Don't get me started. But things can happen, right? So you could drop a game that you didn't expect to drop and all that. So getting a good lead in the NFC West is going to be crucial for the Cardinals to make that playoff push this season. So we'll see what happens here as we get into Week 2. Before we get onto that, though, my man Will Johnson should have been top 15 pick. Will Johnson thought it was in the second round. Will Johnson. Thought he wasn't going to be playing at all in the first few weeks of the season, Will Johnson. And it's starting for us, Will Johnson. That Will Johnson. Now you all want to put some respect on Will Johnson's name. Now you want to give that man the respect that he's due. Now all these teams that passed on him in the first round are kicking themselves for not drafting him. The rookie corner earned the highest defensive score of anybody on the defense against the Saints. Spencer Rattler tested him a couple times, but, when Will got that one pick, which, albeit it got pulled due to some BS call on the other side of the field with Max Melton. But, which, by the way, that was a crappy call. That wasn't even close to the play. All right. Melton aside, the ref, get your head out your butt, bro. That had nothing to do with the play. All right. Move on. But, I don't know. I move on. I should move on too. But still, that irritates me because Will should have gotten his first career pick right then and there. But anyway, he got that pick, and Rattler figured, yeah, I'm gonna throw the other way. I'm not throwing this man anymore. I'm gonna throw a pick that freaking counts at some point, and watch him run it back and some crazy stuff. So Will's already starting to show shades of what I believe he can be, and that is in this league a shutdown corner who can effectively close one entire half of the field. We've seen guys that can do that. Ramsey, right? Jalen Ramsey could still somewhat do it a little bit, but when in his prime, he just shut down half the field. Right, the best corners can do it. Right? Revis Island, right? Champ Bailey, Patrick Surtain now with the Denver Broncos is the same thing, right? Richard Sherman did it in his prime. So if you look at it, the fact that he's able to do that already, and I get it, he did it against a very young quarterback, an experienced quarterback guy that shouldn't really be starting. I get that, right? And this weekend against Bryce Young is going to be a bigger test for sure. But to do it with Budda Baker in the backfield, right, with Max Melton, with Garrett Williams, with all these corners that are high-level corners, really, right, and guys that contribute, and he did that. And he got the highest defensive score on the defense. Put some respect on that man's name. And Cardinals, hey, I have a fun to pick with y'all. How come The Arizona Cardinals team shop does not have the Will Johnson jersey available. That is garbage, all right? He's a rookie, yes, but he's a starting. He's a high-level rookie. Get that man's jersey on there, okay? You know, if you click on if you look for Will Johnson's jersey on the team shop website, you know what you get? They send you to the custom shop. That's like $160 jersey or something like that. Hell no, ain't no one paying that. Get his actual jersey up there. It's like 120 something bucks maybe, and knock it down with a sale if you can. But and y'all wonder why people get knockoffs. Y'all tripping with the prices, man. Tripping. Expensive enough to go to that damn game. I gotta pay an arm and a leg for a jersey. Crazy. All right, moving on. Will the Cardinals put some hands on Bryce Young this weekend? Damn, I hope so. So the Cardinals got the front seven. Got one sack. One tiny little sack against the Saints in week 1. That's not what we have been expecting, right? With the changes made this offseason. And the Cardinals D-line tried real hard to get in the backfield and put hands on rather, but they were only able to get him once. Head coach Jonathan Gannon said, quote, I think it was a function of how well they're coached. Kellen and their staff did a really good job of not letting us rush. That's real in the game. But when they do that, you can't give up explosives. He calls it explosive plays. And you should keep the score down. That's what we did, end quote. The Cardinals did indeed do a good job of eliminating big plays, which historically are deflating plays for the Cardinals. The thing about deflating plays for the Cardinals is it doesn't just affect the defense; it affects the offense, right? If the defense giving up explosive plays puts the offense in a big hole. Let's be real about Kyler Murray, right? Talented as he is, when he gets down, he shows it. The body language is not a good thing on Kyler Murray when they get down. When those plays happen, I hate when the broadcast camera goes to Kyler because it's always like, ugh, like, come on, dog, can't be doing that. But that aside, we did a really good job of stopping explosive plays. That is going to be a must against the Panthers. They have the ability to put on some explosive plays. I know they're not great, okay, but they got T-Mac from the Arizona Wildcats, the new receiver, and I get it. Didn't have a stellar, opening week to his career, but he still has some damn good catches. If you don't think he could pull that off against us, you are insane, okay? Yeah, it's probably going to be Will Johnson against them again this weekend. It's going to be a fun rookie-on-rookie, some rookie-on-rookie crime, of course, but I'm expecting them to try to get that man the ball as much as possible, and they really should. T-Mac should really get the ball. So what should we expect against the Panthers? Frankly, something similar in week than the Saints, right? In the Saints game. And in week 1, the Panthers quarterback Bryce Young, he leaned on quick passes for short yardage to get the ball out of his hands as quick as possible so he doesn't get destroyed. So it's going to be hard to get to him in the backfield for sure. We'll still get to him hopefully once or twice, but the same as the Jags defense did, we'll be able to force mistakes from the offense to get a couple turnovers because he did throw a couple picks. I don't know if he had a fumble. I know there was a fumble in the game. But we should be able to force a couple turnovers at State Farm Stadium on Sunday at 1:05 kickoff. I will be there. My friends, I will be there. Ladies and gentlemen, I do my best not to miss home games. And I have season tickets. I'm definitely going to try and go. So it should be a fun game either way. We'll start bringing it down tomorrow. Go offense against their defense, our defense against their offense, so on and so forth. Leading up to Sunday's game in Glendale. So that'll be a lot of fun, of course. And, of course, make sure you keep coming back here for more of your Arizona Cardinals coverage. All right, hot take time, ladies and gentlemen, before we call it a night or a day, depending on when you're watching this. Stop it. Stop it. I had a conversation with another Cardinals fan earlier today, and they're dead set on replacing Kyler Murray. I get it. You don't like Kyler Murray. Okay, 2 seconds ago, I just mentioned the fact that I'm not a big fan of his body language. When things get down, he sulks. Plain and simple, he sulks. All right, and anyone in the stadium can notice it. Like you can see it at home. My seats are they're at the Ring of Honor and everything. But I look down and he throws a pick or something. Someone drops a pass or he throws an incomplete or whatever it is, and he literally not stomps out, but he like waddles off the field like a toddler. And we can't have that. I get that. He's not the best quarterback in the league. I get that. Probably wasn't worth the number 1 pick overall. I get that. However, every time people are like, he needs to go, we need to cut him, we get rid of him. No one can ever offer a solution of who to bring in, right? Because what this team needs is a veteran quarterback that can play right now. Not hitting the reset button on some rookie. Last week we talked about Arch Manning, his overrated ass, all right? This week we're talking about another overrated quarterback. You know who this guy suggested? Sam Leavitt from Arizona State. Did you not watch their game last week against Mississippi State? Did you not see that man break down and crumble? And I get it. He told the media today, he was like, I'm not tripping. Start tripping, bro. Okay? Because you know why you were bad? Because Cam Scadab was not, he ain't showing up in a Sun Devils jersey anymore. He's in New York playing with the Giants. He don't care. He ain't showing up for y'all. Okay? I get it. Sam Levin, 2024 from Arizona State, had a stellar season that year in 2024. Mentioned as the Heisman hopeful this season. His 2024 stats, 216 completions on 350 attempts. It's pretty good. Just under 3,000 yards at 28.85. 24 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Okay, cool. He did that all with Cam Scadab behind him. When the defense is so worried about dealing with that human bowling ball, just knocking the defenders left and right, getting yards, first downs, and everything, you're not really super focused on the quarterback so he can go off. There was plenty of games last season for Arizona State where they would give the ball to Cam Scadab on 3rd and long. On 3rd and long. That's a pass play. And they still were like, you know what, man, we're better off with you running. Forget Sam. Okay? I'm not trying to crap on the kid. He's still a young guy. He still has time to develop and everything. But do not come with this garbage of, we should trade Kyler Murray. We have to cut Kyler Murray. We have to draft Sam Levin. No. The man is overrated. That whole team's overrated, by the way. They're out of the top 25. Right? And I'm not hating on him. I'm just trying to give you guys the real. Because that's real BS that you're telling me that we need to bring him in to be the Cardinals quarterback. Are you kidding me right now? Kyler would be a way better. I'd rather have Kyler than bring in one, a rookie, but two, that rookie. There are no rookies right now, or guys playing in college football right now, that to me, or to honestly anybody, say, most people anyway, say like, yeah, this is the guy, bring him in. There's people even slandering Caleb Williams, and he just started his career. Like, the man's playing his second season. Relax. And he had some pretty good plays last week. They still lost, but he had some pretty good plays last week. So, relax with this stuff, okay? Let the Kyler contract go. Let's see if we can get somebody, some veteran quarterback to come in if we really don't keep him. If he doesn't improve this year. All right, and if we got to go the rookie route, we go the rookie route. Fine, but stop it with the Sam Levitt garbage, and certainly stop with the Arch Manning garbage. Dude, they're not the guys. And this time of football, you know what? I'll tell you who we should go get. Okay? And it's going to be expensive as hell. Go get Joe Burrow. Because that man cannot be happy in Cincinnati. Nobody ain't happy in Cincinnati. People that live in Cincinnati ain't happy in Cincinnati. All right? So they leave. All right? But go get Joe Burrow if you're going to do that. All right? Just big splash. Go for it. Just gun it out. Balls out. Let's go. All right? All right, ladies and gentlemen. My hot takes get a little, get me riled up. Get me riled up because I'm sick of the slander, man. All right, let Kyler play. Let's see what he's got and everything, and then we can start talking about it when he starts playing like crap. He played solid last week, so relax. That's going to do it for this episode of Cardinals Daily. I'm Eddie Law. Don't forget to hit that sub, hit that bell, hit that like, leave a comment. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Go Cardinals. Week 2, baby. We're on some football 1-0. Let's go.